Hi, and welcome to Art Laughs. I'm Verity Babs, and today I spoke to Adele Cliff. I'm here today with Adele. Adele, please introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Adele Cliff. I'm a stand-up comedian and hopefully a funny person.
And you have picked, so I'm going to go with sculpture rather than architecture, but kind of a crossover.
Yeah, I don't know what I guess it's just a really big sculpture, isn't it? It's the Chicago Bean, which I think it's called Cloud Gate or something. It's called the Bean. That's what it looks like. It's just a big old shiny bean sitting in the middle of the Millennium Park.
And have you seen this bean?
I've seen the Bean, yes. And
Have you seen the bean?
I've seen the Bean. I've been to the Bean. It's been great. And I was with I stayed in Chicago for a while, and at one weekend, my little sister was there because she was working at a university a little bit away, and we'd spent maybe an hour and a half trying to take good photos of us in front of the Bean. So there's if I go through my computer now, I could find maybe 500 photos of us doing handstands and shit like that underneath the Bean, being like, does this look cool? Because it's such a perfect spot for a photo.
Well, I guess it's like trying to take a good picture in Hall of Mirrors.
Yeah, there's a bit of the Hall of Mirrors. There's also the fact we did it on a beautiful day, so the whole skyline, the whole city, the park all looked beautiful, but it also meant that there was so many hundreds of other people there, and we were like, is anyone being weird behind us? And as we were taking stuff,
the structure of it means that it does reflect the whole skyline, which is incredibly beautiful. But is that disrupted by the fact that it is a massive bean? Like, it's not the kind of thing where I imagine you look at it and you kind of marvel at the beauty of it.
I think the thing is, it is a massive bean if you look at it with enough background in, but if you look at it close enough, because it's like properly really mirrory, they do a good job of keeping it clean enough that it's really reflective. So really it is like a really cool distorted view of all the buildings around and the sky and stuff like that. So it is prettier than you'd imagine a big metal bean would look. And it's in a really good bit. It's like in a nice park. It's got like a lovely area around it and stuff. So yeah, I think it's quite nice.
I guess that's like one of the cases for it's really important to see art in real life, right? Because if you do look at this just from a photo, you're like, oh great, it's the sky. But when you're there, there's that interactive element, and it's huge, and you get that different view that isn't just the picture I have up on my screen from Wikipedia,
Yeah. Well, also definitely that, but also imagine if it was just in a warehouse, that would be the shittest thing you've ever seen. But it's just like it knows where it is and it works well there. It's hard to tell from looking at it. It's really big. It's huge. So you can the gap underneath it, you can walk under that, and that's like plenty of space to walk up. So also you can walk all the way under and look up, and it's like 25 different views in lots of different directions and stuff like that.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
I like that. I mean, is this something that you've picked and it was kind of like one of many things you might have picked? Is this something that is engaging with art and sculpture in this kind of way something that you do normally, or is this just like from one really great experience?
I think it's a lovely experience I had in Chicago, and I just really liked it. And I think I like art and sculpture and stuff, but mostly I like things that attached to nice memories of places. So this is such a lovely one because it's entirely about the place it's in. So a gallery is great, but often when you're inside a gallery, especially if you think back to memories of being in a gallery as a child, I don't know what city I was in. I know what the paintings looked like, but I don't know where I was. I can't remember the memory around that, whereas seeing things outside, interacting with nature and stuff makes for a memory that is slightly more fully rounded, I think.
Yeah, because it's like the whole point of the white cube gallery that has no windows is that thing of like being in an airport where you're like, I could be anywhere in the world, because it wants to have nothing distracting you from the painting in front of you. But even so, there are exhibitions of work that I've seen which are brilliant, but because I had to get there in the rain, I just find myself quite angry about the pieces.
And you forget that once you get in there, because it's just looking at the pieces, if your shoe shoes are wet. You're like, your abiding memory is, oh, it's so beautiful, and my socks were wet, and that was horrible.
Exactly. Or yeah, if your shoes are wet and you go in and you're the person making the squeaking noise on the floor, there's nothing you can do about it.
You're the worst person in the world.
You just got to pretend like it's a part of this performance art.
I'm a performance artist. I've come to add to this experience.
I'm actually the artist. Would you like to ask me any questions just to distract from the embarrassment of these shoes? I like the fact that you mentioned about like going as a child. I think that's a probably quite relatively shared experience from a lot of people of when you first go to a gallery, you're probably quite young, but you're also suddenly told that you're not allowed to, you're not allowed to run about, you're not allowed to make much noise, which is completely different to, how you normally interact with bright things and things that are really exciting. So a lot of us do have this kind of hang up about the fact that the gallery is a place where you are meant to go against how you're programmed. I mean, was art experience, like was going to the gallery something that you did quite a lot as a child?
I mean, so my parents live in Cambridge, so there's some nice gallery stuff here. I've been to, and obviously London's near enough that we've been to plenty of places. And whenever we went on holiday to a particular city, we'd always go to whatever the museums and things like that were there were. So I've seen quite a few. Yeah, I've been to quite a few. I don't think it was like the main thing that we did, but we certainly went to quite a few because, it felt like a thing that's worth doing in most cities and things like that when you get there.
Yeah, it's like when you go to this place, you see the gallery, but it's part of that the classic pack of we see the gallery, we go and look at like the outside of the massive church. We go.
You go. Yeah. What else? You see the massive church. You see the gallery. If there's a bit of water, you normally go and look at that.
You go on the little boat.
Oh yeah, and sometimes you go if there's a funicular or something. Great, that's a huge bonus.
That's at least 7 days worth of activity.
Oh yeah, that's an extra week to the holiday.
My dad now is like the key thing that determines whether or not he wants to go on a holiday is whether he's going to get to have a boat trip. He loves a little boat trip.
They are good. My dad likes them too. I think it's maybe the pining for nauticalness in all men.
Yeah, we live in a strange time where men aren't quite sure what the role of like being a man is, but they do know that they're all drawn back to the sea.
They're like, I could definitely. They're drawn to the sea. They're like, I understand a jib sail. I know what I'm doing here.
I'm still looking at this bean, and I think that art in the public space is amazing. And I'm also amazed at the fact that they've managed to, like you say, keep this super clean and ungraffitied.
It's in a pretty public area, so firstly it'd be quite hard to graffiti and not be caught on CCTV, but also it's within the Millennium Park. I think it's within, I know the park itself has like gardeners and curators and stuff who are working there all the time, so I imagine it becomes one of the things they do is getting someone to come in and clean it, so it gets well looked after, or at least it was when I was there. When was it built?
2006.
2000. Okay, so I was there in 2016, so it'd been there 10 years and it still looks really good.
Good innings. I feel like it's one of those pieces as well where it'd be so frustrating the first time there was like a scratch in it.
Yeah.
Like when you get the first scratch on a new phone screen protector and you're like, this was going to happen. One of them had to be the first. Breaking in new trainers.
Definitely. But I think the good thing is like it definitely had a few scratches and stuff on it, and like when you got closer to it, it probably had rained the night before or something when I was there, so there's a few like water spots, but you couldn't see it from more than like 5 meters away, so it didn't ruin the effect in any way.
Well, I guess that's the problem with like massive sculptures as well, is if you go to this city and you're like, you know what, I'm going to get a great Insta shot for the gram, but so many people must be around it. It's like you see those pictures of people trying to take a picture of the Mona Lisa and everyone's just got their phone up in the air because there's so many people that you can't get through.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, like with that, I don't quite understand the Mona Lisa one. Like everyone knows what the Mona Lisa looks like. Surely the experience is seeing it in the flesh. Like I can Photoshop my own face next to the Mona Lisa and be like, look, I saw the Mona Lisa, but I haven't actually seen it. So like, surely you should look at the thing and then you can go home and be like, I saw this, it was great. But if it's in a city, if it's a proper like a memory of a place, then getting yourself next to it, like sculptures and being in big buildings and stuff like that is different, I think. Yeah,
I'm a massive believer in, we should like take the art in or whatever, but still every time I go to a gallery I take my phone out and take a picture, and it's odd, this thing of the camera phone, right? Because we all know that there are probably professional photographs taken of the things that we then take photographs of.
Oh,
but for some reason we're like, no, I must take a picture of this with my with my Samsung.
Yeah. Well, I think I suppose I understand the sense that, like, I do it all the time and I try not to, but you're like, oh, I'm really enjoying this, I should take a photo and that will remind me that I'm really enjoying this. And you're like, I probably would remember I'm enjoying this anyway, but it's like, it's kind of like taking pictures of your cats or something. Like, my cat is beautiful and lovely and the best girl in the whole world. I have thousands of photos of her looking beautiful and lovely, and like, she looks the same all the time. She's very gorgeous, but I should just look at her and not be like, oh, you're sitting perfectly, stay still.
and no matter how much we know that, it's so hard not to do it, because you're like, what if? I don't even know what the what if is, because the end result, I suppose, for photographs is it either like goes on Instagram or like goes on social media, or doesn't, or becomes your phone background, or doesn't. It's not like I'm going to enter this amazing photograph I've got of the inside of a gallery into a competition. Like, there's no end goal, but there's always a what if I regret not taking this photograph, for what means, like, for what?
I think, but I suppose that is valid. Like, I take a lot of photos of stuff, and like when I was in Chicago, for example, my sister was in a different bit of America studying, but I was doing improv at Second City, and then I went to New York and stuff, so I was on my own for most of that time. So I took a lot of photos of stuff, and I've realised I do that a lot. And then when I'm hanging out with friends, I don't take that many photos. And I'm like, I always am annoyed that I haven't taken photos of me and my friends doing stuff. And I'm like, I've got loads of photos of, like pretty scenery, but no photos of me and my friends doing things. So I understand the urge to always take pictures of stuff, because then you don't miss things like that. And it's sort of training yourself to be like, oh, I might want to remember this nice day out with my 3 friends.
That's the thing I realised during lockdown, is I have some like photographs from university and like nice times like that I've got up on my wall. And I was looking at them and I was like, God, I must have been so much happier then. And I was like, no, you just got more photographs of it. But there's nothing to take photographs of at the moment, so why would you? So I look at these times going, oh, I had such a, like, she was so happy and fun. It's like, first of all, she
was allowed outdoors.
Yeah, but first of all, she wasn't happy or fun. But like, maybe I thought maybe I should start taking photographs just of doing things in the house, in order to kind of almost trick 2020 and 2021 into seeming like good times.
Do you think in like 5 years, if you look back through the photos on your phone or on your computer and you find a picture of you just like drinking some tea on the sofa, you're going to be like, God, what was I thinking taking photos of this?
Why have I kept this for so long?
Why did I want to document this? I know what happened.
Thank you so much for joining me today. Where is the best place that we can follow what you're up to?
I'm on Twitter, twitter.com, the website. It's at Adele Cliff. There's not a lot of other Adele Cliffs, so you're safe looking for my name there. I'm also on Instagram, but I should say I'm on Instagram in the sense that I have an Instagram account that has in the past put photos on it, but there's not a lot of them, and I haven't done it for a while because they're all pictures of me indoor drinking tea on the sofa doing nothing. Twitter's probably a better place to find me.
Give the people what they want.
Exactly.
You can follow Adele in the ways written below. You can follow me at VerityBabsArt on Instagram, and I'll see you next time.